My name is Cassidy, this is Karis, and this is Brandon. And we answered the question of what were the ideas that motivated the abolitionist movement. And we came up with the Second Great Awakening and advocacy by women. So first we'll go into context.
The abolitionist movement was an organized attempt to end slavery in the United States, and it was really popular between 1830 and 1870.
And one of the ideas was Second Great Awakening, and the Second Great Awakening was a revival that caused people to question their morals, which led to social reforms. And revivalists saw slavery as a sin that needed to be absolved, which basically was like people have their own views and stuff, and then when like priests and stuff really started talking out about it, like they really started changing their own morals because they saw like the stuff that they worshipped was telling them that it was wrong, even though that they thought it was right. You know, that's what really like started changing their minds about it. Oh, and some of the sources we used was History Channel and National Park Service.
And so another thing that we found was a motivator for the abolitionist movement was advocacy by women. I think the most strongest point here was Uncle Tom's Cabin, which was written by Harriet Beecher Stowe, and it was about the life of a slave in the South, and it kind of highlighted the harsh realities of it. And this led to the North, who was more literate and had less of a slave population, really becoming like pro-abolitionist movement. And then the second point we have was advocacy by the Grimke sisters, and they spoke out against slavery and wrote in newspapers, which caused more outrage and like protests and more conversations about the abolitionist movement.
And then the pictures we have are of the cover of Uncle Tom's Cabin, and then it's a picture talking about how like during the Second Great Awakening it was more about their religious passion rather than just going to church.
Okay. So do you think that, just based on the research that you guys did, that the movement to end slavery was more of a social movement or more of a religious movement, just based on like what you guys learned, based on the way you're just kind of taking this in?
I think it was a social movement, but it was very much based on religion because it really came to be like a bigger thing during the Second Great Awakening, but it was also inspired by a lot of other ideas, like the Enlightenment, which was more of like philosophical. So like religion played a part, but it wasn't like the main point there.
Cool. Anything else that you guys have to say, either about your process of like making a poster or like something you learned during the period of time that you were working on this?
Questions we had was like, what were the responses for anti-abolitionist movement people, specifically like Second Great Awakening with other religions and how they took it, and then how people who were more traditional about women's